Indian hockey team was in Australia to play 5 tests against Australia in Adelaide, and the performance we have seen, team has been improving day by day, but the results were not of much of concern as we were talking about. But what was actually concern, and what were the areas which team was working on? To tell more about that, we are now joined by the coach of the team, Reid. A very warm welcome to Tejo TV, and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
What was the focus of the team when team came to Australia for this tour?
Probably the biggest one, and I've spoken about it before, it was the consistency. So we were looking for consistent performances through each game, so from quarter to quarter, but also across games. And I think we still have a long way to go with that. We had some very good quarters. We also had some times where we let ourselves down. Admittedly, it was just in little bits and pieces, but yeah. So we've got a lot of tape now, or video, for the last 5 games, so we'll be able to do a lot of soul searching during that period, and it's worked out because we've tried a few different things and different ways of the press and different ways when we only have 10 men or we're outnumbered because they take a goalkeeper off, which happened, I think it was in the 4th game. So we've got some good video to look at, which we can use to get better. Yeah.
World Cup is coming up in January, and before that, a tour of Australia, one of the strongest team in the world, and the way they have played against India in the previous some of the knockout matches, the results which come. Do you think this experience is going to be quite handy to the players, where we have seen the Australians pressing hard, one-on-one, especially our defenders when they try to take the ball out of their own area, working on those areas? How has we come out from that?
Yeah, well, again, probably, so we had the consistency objective, but there was also an objective of trying to desensitise ourselves, if you like, to the way that Australia plays, and that they still have 2 arms and 2 legs, and we can still compete. And I think we showed that to score 17 goals in 5 games was pretty good against the world's number 1. So I think we proved a fair few things to ourselves, and plus even in the very very last 10 or 50 seconds of the 5-match series, we were able to put a goal away. So and come back to 5-4. Took the keeper off. It could have gone either way there at the end. Who knows? But yeah, I think it shows our character about the team, which I was very happy with.
Some of the youngsters were also tried, and some of the senior players like Akashdeep, who performed really well in a few of the matches. He was rested for some of the matches as well. Any standout players for you in this tournament? I know it's a teamwork; it's very difficult to name some players.
And I don't like to get into who played well and who didn't. But it was very good. I think we learned a lot about each of the players, and again, that was one of the other objectives. So we talked about the other 2. The other one was, of course, we had 23 players, so we were able to change players in and out, rest some, give others opportunities, that because it's all about World Cup selection and making sure that we know what our best lineup is, and that can be hard also for players, because one day they're playing, the next day they're not, and it isn't necessarily from bad form. It's more about trying the different combinations, but of course with that comes sometimes a little bit of incoherent defence. And so perhaps that's what you saw a little bit of. We were quite leaky at the back, meaning we let too many goals in. But sometimes that happens when you're changing your team every day. Now they did the same, and maybe that's why it's sort of, the scores are 5-4 and 4-3, and yeah.
And a lot of expectations now from Indian teams, especially the way they performed in the Olympics, in the Commonwealth as well. They've been performing in the last decade. They have been trying and coming up, doing really well. How do you think this World Cup, when there is Spain and England in the same pool, playing at your own backyard in India, in 2 states, what kind of a pressure, or what are you thinking about that?
Yeah, look, it's a double-edged sword. Your own World Cup at home, because it brings the pressure from the public, but it also can help motivate the players, and that's always a positive thing as well. So it's a double-edged sword. You've got to work out what positives to bring, and try and forget the negatives. And look, as I often will say, there is no one who puts more pressure on us than ourselves, and I think that's the way it has to be. And we need to demand more of ourselves all the time, and I think that's what the culture we're trying to build.
Coach, thanks a lot for talking to us and wish you all the best for the team, for the World Cup. All the best wishes, and we hope India finishes on podium. Thanks a lot for talking to us.